In this video, we will show you how to import Minecraft Dungeon models into Blender. So first off, there's a few things that we need to do prior to importing models into Blender. One, we need to unpack the PAK files. Now using UModel you can do this. I've made a video on how we can unpack. There's a whole series of videos coming out. If you go back to the start and go through them all, you should be at the place that we're at now. This is video number 4, and then it will bring you right up to date and you'll be able to follow this quite easily. 2, we're going to need Blender, and 3, we need the import export script as well. Otherwise the files that we got are useless, you can't do anything with them. So first off, we're going to go get Blender. So Blender can be obtained from here, blender.org. This is where we can get it from, using version 2.9.3.1. To download that, install it. And then the next thing that we're going to need to get is we're going to have to get this add-on here. So it's a Blender 3D import PSK PSA add-on. It's quite easy to install. It's not too bad. I think we only need the 280 for import. We'll go through it and we'll work it all out. So we're just going to download this here. So it's on a GitHub. We click the little link here and click download zip. That will download. So it's downloaded here. And then if you've been following prior, you need to put it somewhere. So I'm just going to go and chuck it in here. It's the easiest thing to do for me. So let me just go here and then download, and then we're just going to copy this into here. Zip that you downloaded. So we're just going to right click on it and we're going to go extract here. This will then put another folder in here called Blender import, and then add-ons, and then here's the 2 files here. They're both Python. You can open them up if you want, have a look. So open up Blender. If you haven't done already, go edit, preferences, and then install, and then navigate to the folder where you've put the extracted scripts. So mine's here, and then add-ons, and they're both here. Now for the import, I believe it is only the 280 that we need, so I'm going to go install add-on, and then it automatically brings it up here. Make sure it's ticked, and you should be able to import PSK and PSKX files, and then that's done. So hopefully now you've loaded up Blender, you've installed the import scripts, and we're ready to rock and roll. So in Blender, press A and delete. Just want to say that my Blender knowledge isn't perfect. I've only been using it a few months really, more of a 3ds Max or a Fusion person. So bear with me, some things may be wrong or not the way you're used to doing it, and I do it a different way. So just to put that out there. Right, so we need to go File, we need to go Import, and then we need to go Import Skeleton Mesh.psk. So then we need to navigate to the folder where we exported everything prior, which for me was on the desktop, just because it's easy. Dungeons modding. Then we need to go exports, UModel, not BMS, because BMS doesn't provide the files that we want. Game, and then it is anywhere which holds a 3D model. So axes is a good one, characters, enemies, and then here's all the enemies here. I'm going to do the zombie because everyone knows the zombie there, and here is the zombie 3D file. .psk is the zombie file. Now some people like to scale it down, some people don't. I'm not in one for scaling it down because I had errors with other things, so I scale it down on export rather than scale it down on import. Doesn't matter which way you want to do it, but this is the way I do it. So that's that, and then I'm going to go import PSK. So you can see here, let's zoom out, and here we go. Here is the zombie in the Blender. It's no textures on it, no nothing, so we get them added. So on the right hand side here, you've got all your little options. What you need to do is you need to click on the model, then a new option down here will appear. It's this one here, which has got like a little globy football material thing here. Then once that loads up, click use nodes. Once use nodes is lit, go over here on the left hand side. Let's change this to shader editor. If you bring it up, then you'll see that you'll have little sort of options and material things. So you can change the color here if you really wanted to, but we're not looking at that. We're looking at adding a texture to it. So we need to go add texture, image texture, and then open. And then because we were just in the zombie folder, we can then go zombie here under recent, and then we got the images here. So you want the T zombie, not the T zombie S. Click open. You can see it's loaded here, and then we go color, load, drag that down, put it onto the base color. Now the reason it's not shown in the viewport is because you need to change the viewport viewing to shading. Change it to shading, it's there. It's a bit blurry. The reason it is blurry is because you haven't set up the right texture on the image. So under the tzombie.png, the first drop down, instead of a linear, we need to change it to closest. There you go, you can see it's all blocky now, it's all perfect, it looks good. So that's how we get a 3D model from Dungeons into Blender. So now that we have the model in here, we can look at putting the animation in. So if we click this, it's pretty much the same process, but you need to have a 3D model in here first. So click the 3D model you want to apply it to, go File, Import, down the bottom, Skeleton Anim PSA. Click that, Zombie, down in Recent, Animations is here, and then we need to choose an animation. There's quite a few, so I'm just going to go Novelty Sleep. I don't know what that does or what that doesn't do. Okay, right, so you've got rotation only. Sometimes you need rotation, sometimes you don't need rotation. If you're importing it mucks up, try it with rotation. I don't know, I can't say. I've had issues where I needed it and issues where I didn't need it, so it's trial and error on that front. Don't invert root bone, and then click Import PSA. So here you can go, you can see he's changed his position and looking good. So now we need to find the timeline or the dope sheet. Some people like timeline, some people like the dope sheet. Here's the dope sheet, and you can see here he's going to sleep and he's waking up. So that is how you can import an animation in. You can also change the keyframes here to put what you want on. I'll leave that to you to figure out and how to do. So there he is here, then we can render this up. I haven't got a camera in the scene, but you could have, if I go add camera, now this is where my knowledge really does not have anything good. Yeah, so there is a way of moving the camera to the viewport like that. There's Control-Alt-0, I believe it is. F12 for render, and there you go. You can see that it's a bit big because it's made it huge. There you go, you can see that I've just rendered that up. It's a bit dark, you put a light in and things like that, change the transparency, but you can do what you want. You can use these models for more than one thing other than modifying them or whatever. So anyway, that is how you can get a 3D model from Dungeons into Blender for whatever reason you need it for, but we need it if we're going to edit something or if we're going to make something new, or you want to see how a texture looks on it prior to changing the texture. You can do it this way. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hopefully this has helped you. If you've got any questions, please ask. Otherwise, don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll catch you again soon.